YouTube, hello, welcome back to P5X. I'm gonna do something a little different here. I've only really been doing like a video here and there. It's been mostly live streams with Persona 5, the Phantom X. But I wanted to kind of give a breakdown of the 2.0 update live stream that just went down a couple hours ago, because it was 2 hours long and there was a lot of information in there. So I wanted to try to break it down a little bit better. And as I was like writing out like all the stuff that went down, I was like, how am I going to show this on the screen? And I did a PowerPoint, which I don't know how I feel about right now, but y'all let me know. Let me know what you think of it by the end of this, and we'll see how it works. But I wanted to kind of break down everything to expect for 2.0 from the live stream that we saw, and then obviously we'll go over everything as we go along here. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below, and let's get it started. So first and foremost, this is phase 1 of 4 of the 2.0 update, and this is going to include the new chapter 3, which is the new palace. So we're going to get a new palace and a new phantom thief named Wind. Wind is an elucidator, so she's one of the navigators. It decreases the enemy's defense and increases your allies' attack, and it's all based on her speed stat. So it's not based on HP, attack, defense, it's based on speed. And based on what we've seen from her skills, so her 3 skills, it looks like you want to have 160 speed to maximize her total potential. So to actually maximize their power level, to get the most out of your skills, you want to get their speed stat up to 160 using revelation cards, stuff like that. They're also releasing a new weapon for Wonder called Ex Machina. So I did grab off of lufel.net, which I'll leave down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. I grabbed the stats for the China version. I imagine that this is going to be the same. I don't think they've changed any of Wonder's weapons for the global release or the Japanese release, so I assume it'll be the same. What it does, this is at rank 6, so the maximum dagger stats. Any stats that we list here, by the way, all going to be at max stats, just so like skill level 10, rank 6, etc. So it increases Wonder's attack by 56%. And then it gives Wonder an aura that increases your party's attack by a base of 240. And then based on the attribute of the equipped persona, it increases the damage for that attribute by 34% and 40% to your allies. So what this means is that when you go in with Wonder with as an example, a nuke persona, it's going to increase your nuke attribute damage by 34% and give your allies a 40% damage buff to that damage as well. So this could be really useful for things like that Sea of Souls or the Nightmare Gateway. It's just a way to try to get higher scores because you're trying to deal as much damage as possible. So getting any kind of damage increase is helpful. So we'll see how it works though. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. And yeah, they're adding a new Mementos floor. So now this is going to have an upgrade shard for the EX Machina as well. So you'll be able to get your new sword upgraded, or your new dagger upgraded rather. They're also adding a new area, and the new area is Kichijoji. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But it's going to include new city life activities, which is going to include things like karaoke, part-time jobs, etc. And then they're also going to be adding new NPC stories as well. So those will probably be little side quests that you can, when you click on the top right, and you can see all your missions in your journal. There'll be new side quests that probably activate new NPC stories, which will be fun. They're also adding new shops, new capsules. And so I'm very excited about the capsules. I like the little gotcha capsules thing. I don't know if anybody else enjoys pulling for those, but I think it's fun. They're cute. I like displaying them in your bedroom and stuff. I think that's cool. It looked like a lot of the content in that area only opened at night, and I don't think they showed what they actually looked like when they're opened up. So it'll be interesting to check it out and see what happens when we open them up at night, and see what all the options are. It'll be neat. Next up is the thing that everybody seems to have been waiting for, the release of Chord. So Chord, if you have consumed any Persona 5 the Phantom X content on YouTube over the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, I'd say, you have probably seen at least 1 or 40 videos about Chord, and you didn't see one for me because I was just like, you know what, they're everywhere. I don't need to do this. It's fine. I'm just gonna let everybody else talk about it. But now she's here, she's coming out tomorrow, and I wanted to go over the kit really quick because she did release with buffs. And that may surprise some folks that have played Persona 5 the Phantom X over in the China server, because she is considered one of the best characters in the game in terms of just how much utility she provides your team, how much extra damage she provides your team. Even in today's metagame, she's still used in quite a few teams. So let's break it down really quick though. So all of the buffs that you see on screen are in red. So there's 2 buffs that were done to her main skills. Her skill 1 is an AoE lightning attack that does 85.4% of her attack. This is, again, all these skills are assumed at rank 10, right? When you've got it all maxed out, level 80, etc. And then if you have a co-star, the co-star then also hits the main target for 83.3% of their attack as lightning. So if the co-star for your team is Makoto, as an example, this will deal 83.3% of Makoto's attack as lightning. And then a buff to the skill is an 80% shock chance to the main target. Now, I don't like to speculate because, again, I just started playing this game when it was released in mobile. When it was released in global. And when it was released in global, I was very unaware of the quote-unquote metagame over in China, what folks think is good, think is bad. I just have been kind of playing the game. Now, I've been educating myself a bit over the last couple of weeks just because I'm interested and I'm having a lot of fun with the game. But to my knowledge, Yui right now needs shock in order to reach her damage dealing, because like her skill 1 only hits really, really high damage figures when the opponent is shocked. And so as a result, you're basically either using Wonder or using Closer to inflict shock on the opponent, and then Yui can start popping off as long as you keep reapplying shock. I imagine that not only does this make Chord a little bit more self-sufficient because it gives a little bit more utility to her kit by giving her that elemental ailment, right? But also it helps her be a support better for Yui in the global version, which is cool. So it is only I say only 80%. It is not 100% chance, obviously, but with elemental accuracy and ailment accuracy and stuff like that, you can get that up. So that's really cool. Nice buff. Skill 2, you get to choose one ally to become the co-star, increasing their attack by 24% of Chord's attack for 3 turns, up to 1,220. So that cap in the China version is 976, so that is a buff up for the damage ceiling. The actual percentage increase is still 24%, so that is still the same, but the ceiling that you can get up to is 1220, which is obviously a huge increase of almost 30%. So that's a pretty big buff. Obviously, you know, anything that increases attack in this game is very good, so that's solid. And that also allows them, obviously, for the co-star stuff to, you know, do that follow-up attack on her skill 1, which is great. Her skill 3 is the one that everybody likes the most, including me, which is immediately activate one ally's highlight and increase the damage that highlight deals by 78.1%. So what this does is it starts on a 1-turn cooldown. And then after that 1 turn, you get to immediately activate one ally's highlight and it increases their damage. And then that cooldown increases from 1 turn to 2 turns, and then from 2 turns to 3 turns. And then after it hits 3 turns, that's the highest it can go in terms of the cooldown. And every 3 turns, you can just immediately activate a highlight. Now, to my understanding and the way that they described it, this does not affect the ally's cooldown for the highlight. So once you actually get your highlight charged again, you can actually use that target's highlight again, which is awesome. So you'll see when we get to her passives on the next slide here, that also increases your ally's damage, which is very helpful. But this is her main kit. These are the main 3 skills. So I wanted to pop on those really quick. I didn't include, for some reason, her highlight in this, which just increases your party's damage for 1 turn each. So it's 4 actions. I don't know why I didn't include that here, but I didn't. So that's what it is. Passive 1, it increases your ally's attack by 24% when using a highlight, and it's 1.5 times more when they're the co-stars. So I'm under the impression that goes up to 36% then. So a 36% damage or attack increase is obviously very, very good. So obviously you want to make the co-star the person you're planning on using the highlight with. So keep that in mind when you're setting your co-star for on turn 1. And then passive 2, after an ally uses a highlight, the ally with the lowest HP recovers 15% of Chord's attack. So obviously, I'm gonna be just like everybody else on YouTube. This is a really good unit. Like, not only does she have decent lightning damage, she also has the ability to spam highlights. She has the ability to heal, and she has multiple abilities to increase damage. So seems pretty strong, right? In terms of A0 to A6, this is the awareness levels, by the way. So if you pull 1 copy of Chord, that's A0. If you pull a 2nd copy of Chord, that's A1, etc. So A0, which is her base form, it permanently increases Chord's attack by 20% up to a maximum of 40% when she uses her skill 3. So when she uses her skill 3 on turn 2, which is the first turn that she'll be able to actually activate it, she increases her attack permanently for the rest of the fight by 20%. Then when she uses it again, it increases it another 20%, giving her 40% additional attack herself when used just in general for the rest of the fight, which is really, really strong. So A0 by itself is just incredibly strong just for Chord in general. But remember that all of her other skills, so if we go back a slide here, you can see that her ally becomes co-star, increasing their attack by 24% of Chord's attack. You can reapply this co-star after using her skill 3 twice, and that's going to get you up to this 1220 mark a lot faster, right? Assuming that your base attack is pretty high. So pretty important stuff. Just keep that in mind as you're going through when you're reactivating your highlights and such. When you're using your skill 3 and increasing Chord's damage, you want to make sure you reapply that skill again to keep increasing her damage, keep increasing your allies' damage, and you'll continue to scale throughout the fight, which is wild. Her A1, which is the second pull that you get for her, gives co-star automatically to the ally with the highest attack in your team, and they prioritize assassin and sweeper characters. So assassins are characters that have single target damage, like Makoto and Yui, and sweeper characters are characters that focus primarily on area of effect, like Joker and An. Obviously, being able to immediately make somebody a co-star makes it a lot easier than to not have to waste a turn on that skill, right? So that way you don't have to use skill 2 at all. Like you can just, this just happens automatically, and then you can just start skill 1, go skill 3, go back to skill 1, go skill 2, go skill 3, right, etc., etc. So pretty good. Obviously the A1's pretty good. Based on what I've seen from the folks online, they did talk about the 5-star weapon, didn't they? I didn't include that in the slides either. I'll break briefly and include that in this video. But apparently the 5-star weapon's pretty important. So although A1 is very good, you want to prioritize getting her her 5-star weapon because it gives her quite a bit of a buff. So keep that in mind as you're, calculating out your resources, how much available stuff we're getting, because we're getting a lot of rewards. We'll touch on that later in the video as well. But make sure that you save enough, not only when you get Chord, but for her 5-star weapon as well, because it's sounding like you're going to want both. And again, I'll include the details about her 5-star weapon after this segment. Her A2 just increases the allies' damage by 30% for 1 turn when she uses her skill 3, which is pretty cool. Just increases not only their damage with the highlight that you're using with that skill 3, but it also increases their next attack, which is pretty good. The A3 and A5 upgrades are just skill increases by 3 levels, which is normal for the awareness. Awareness 4 is an enhanced highlight, so this is an enhanced of Chord's highlight. The duration goes from 4 actions to 6 actions, which is dope, and it also increases the highlight gauge by 60% and decreases the highlight cooldown for all allies by 1 turn. So this lets you get your allies' highlights off earlier than you would have otherwise whenever she uses her highlight. So that's really, really cool. So if you ever get to a point where you have to use Chord's highlight or you want to use Chord's highlight, it also decreases the cooldown of all of your allies' highlights as well, which is great. And then finally, A6, which is the maximum, is the skill 3, the catchy hook, can be used immediately. The cooldown for that skill 3 is permanently decreased to 1 turn and will never increase. And every time it's used, it permanently increases your team's damage by 20% up to 40%. So what that means is that every other turn you get to force a highlight out, which is obviously very strong. As far as the should you pull thing, I haven't been making videos around this because I feel like I've just been pulling for the characters that I like. And so far I've been, knock on wood, right? I've been very fortunate with my pulls so far. If you've seen my Makoto video here, we got very lucky and got her early. That's been my story for P5X. I've really been lucky pulling the 5-star units in this game, which means I'm expecting to strike out hard for Chord, but we're gonna find out tomorrow. But in terms of a should you pull, this seems pretty future-proof, just because, most of the time with supports in any gacha game, especially this game, with how many buffs she provides in terms of just how many attack buffs, damage buffs, healings that she gives. And then on top of it, she's also kind of self-sufficient with her lightning damage, and she adds the ability with the elemental ailment. It allows her to be pretty useful going forward. And then although her A1's pretty good because it lets you not have to do her skill 2, I think that the buffs that they gave to skill 2 and skill 1 are enough to make her more than powerful enough at A0 that you don't need to pull for A2. That's or A1 rather. That's just my opinion. I only started playing this when the global version released. I am not familiar with her power level over in China or how useful she is. But from my perspective, based on what I'm reading here, she seems like the best support in the game right now. Whether that sticks based on how they release new characters. Because remember, at this point, I think every single 5-star character that's been released has been buffed. So our perception of the quote unquote meta game is probably not going to stick in global. So it's worth mentioning that just in case, but based on what we're reading here, based on the information that we've been provided, and based on what we know about Chord, I believe she's going to be very, very good. And you should probably consider at least getting 1 copy of Chord before the banner ends. Okay, and then her 5-star weapon is called Superstar. And this increases her attack by 30% at the start of battle, fills the highlight gauge by 40%, which is awesome. It also increases the co-star's attack by 15%, which is very good. And then each time an ally uses a highlight, it increases the co-star's attack by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. That's obviously very, 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 very good. So this is the reason why people are very hype about her 5-star weapon. It gives you those highlights faster. It gives you 40% highlight gauge at the start of the fight, with the I forget what the name of the revelation card set is, but there's a revelation card set that lets you start the battle with 25% increased highlight gauge. Combine that with this, which is 40%, you're starting with a 65% increase to your highlight gauge, which is going to get you spamming your highlights faster, and that's awesome. So worth mentioning that the 5-star weapon for Chord is very, very strong. Make sure you get this if you can. And we'll get to the rewards that are coming up soon, but it's seeming pretty likely that you'll at least have a good shot at it. So make sure you try to get the 5-star weapon if you plan on pulling for Chord. Okay, and that pretty much covers Chord. So now we're going to move on to the rest of the update because there's still a lot more to cover here. So the Ayaka synergies can get to the romance level. I believe that's rank 17. So they've unlocked the rest of the levels for that. I don't know about everybody else. I'm mostly free to play. I did have a gift card, so I'm going to be able to do a lot of pulls tomorrow, which I'm excited about. But I haven't put money into this game outside of that gift card yet that we spent yesterday. So I'm excited to share that with everybody, but also I have not gotten anyone even close to rank 17, and my social stats are nowhere near strong enough to even get them above like 13 at this point. So I don't know if anybody else is at that point or not, but if you are, great, enjoy it. But for me, I'm not even close. So they're also adding some new music to the band club, which is dope. And then they're also introducing a new feature called Task. So the way that this looks, and if you've played other mobile games, you've probably seen something similar to this, where you send out a unit to do a specific real-time, real-life task. So you send it out, and over the course of in real world time, they complete the task, and after they complete the task, you get a reward. They're gonna have certain requirements. They didn't touch on it super in depth, and so as a result, we're just gonna go over this tomorrow. I'm gonna have a live stream tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern to not only do our Chord pulls, but we're gonna check out tasks. We're gonna check out all of the 2.0 updates. I might go into the palace based on how much time we have. I don't want to go super long because I do have other streams for the rest of this week as well. So just bear in mind, I've got a lot of streams this week. If you're interested, by the way, feel free to check out my socials down below. You can come by, check out our streams anytime. We're going to do our Ever Crisis update night as well. So for folks who are interested in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, we've got our update night stream tonight. We've got anniversary coming up for Ever Crisis this weekend. Lots of streams this week. So if you're interested in checking it out, feel free to come by and check us out on either Twitch or YouTube. Cognitite Shards. So these are the Thieves Cognitite Shards, and these are going to allow us to increase the awareness of certain 5-star units. As of the 2.0 release, those units are going to be Mona, Skull, Panther, Rin, and Riddle. And then for global, and these are new for global specifically, are Yui, Joker, and Marion. So we'll be able to use these Cognitite Shards as of this 2.0 release, meaning tomorrow. We'll be able to upgrade the awareness for any of those characters immediately. We're going to be getting 60 of those shards for free in the mail. This is part of their apology for not letting us, or not giving us, the Marion Cognitite and the Marion 5-star weapon in Lufel's business plan compared to the China server, which the 5-star weapon side of it we'll touch on later in the video. But so this is cool. You're able to choose who you want to use this Cognitite on. We'll go over all of the individual units, or at least I will go over all the individual units tomorrow and see if any of them at their A1 is something that I'm super excited about. For me personally, I've actually pulled Panther quite a bit. I think I have Panther at A3 already, and so I'm probably not going to use it there. It's probably going to either be on Yui, Joker, or Marion for me. But again, we'll go over all of that during the live stream tomorrow. They are also going to be adding Yusuke, Makoto, and Yumi later on. So if that's something that floats your fancy more, if you think A1 Makoto is more important or A1 Yusuke is more important, you can save these Cognitite Shards and use them later. To my knowledge, that was the way that it was phrased during the live stream. That may be incorrect. We'll find out tomorrow for sure, though. They're adding super levels or S levels. This allows Wonder to continue progression after the level 80 cap, which again, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know anybody at level 80 right now. But like when we get there, it's already unlocked and we'll be able to continue on. Every single level that you get afterwards will give you rewards. I believe they reward a Schema Point Plus, which then allows him to upgrade his stats further. So it allows Wonder to continue getting stronger, which is great. They're also adding 4 new revelation cards. They're adding Virtue, Oppression, Pleasure, and Labor. They said that this is going to be there's going to be a Bless set, there's going to be a Psychokinesis set, there's going to be a one that's specific for elucidators, and so we'll look forward to seeing what those are tomorrow as well. I think 2 of them I figured out based on off of Lufel.net. I think they just got renamed for the global release. One's called Works. I imagine that's just going to translate straight to Labor, and then there is a Virtue set in the Chinese version. So, but Pleasure, I wasn't sure if I knew 100%, and Oppression, I definitely didn't know what it tied to. So I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow. I think I know what each of them do, but I didn't want to guess. They're also adding 3 new space cards. I don't think they said the names of the 3 space cards, so we'll have to check that out tomorrow as well. The live stream gift. So the live stream gift, the last live stream gift, we actually got 600 meta jewels. They increased it this time to 1,000, which is awesome. So 1,000 is almost a full 10 pull on a character banner. And I think it is a 10 pull on a weapon banner. I don't remember how much it costs for meta jewels on the weapon banner because I've not used meta jewels on a weapon banner yet. But still, 1,000 is great. They're adding a new mini event called Puzzle. This is just a puzzle. You get puzzle pieces. So as you use stamina and action points, you'll get puzzle pieces. You'll get rewards like jewels, platinum tickets, etc. So I expect that's going to be very similar to the Lufel driving thing, the Tabby's treasure hunt thing. I think it's going to be pretty similar to that. We'll check that out tomorrow as well. And then they're also releasing another event called Unconditional Love Phase 1. So the way that they're doing this is you're going to get jewels, platinum tickets, and platinum millicoins for completing 2.0 related content. And what I mean by 2.0 related content is it's going to include chapter 3 related missions, so missions based around the new palace, new city life related missions in Kichijojo. There's going to be Mementos exploration missions, all kinds of stuff like that. We'll go over all of that tomorrow as well. And by the way, if anybody's interested in having any of those videos separated, like if you want like an event breakdown video or something like that, if you like the way that I break things down, feel free to let me know. You know, I know that there's a couple of creators on YouTube that do a good job of breaking that stuff down already. So if you could, then I'm good too. But if you'd like to hear my side of it, or if you'd like to hear my breakdown for it, feel free to let me know. I'm not going to do a spreadsheet though, or a PowerPoint rather. I'm not going to do a whole breakdown like this. I'll actually go into the event and show you. But I felt like this was easier for the visual. But yeah. So this is going to include, by the way, 20 platinum tickets and 20 millicoins, which is obviously 2 full 10 pulls for both the contract and the arms deal. So that's really, really good. So make sure you go through and clear out those events. It also includes wins 4-star weapon at a full rank 6 as a reward. So make sure you clear out all the event stuff for that. You want to make sure you're logging in every day because some of the platinum tickets and millicoins, maybe even all of them, are behind logging into the game. So make sure that you're logging into the game over the next month, getting your rewards and getting your upgrades, because that's a lot of really good upgrades. So make sure you're checking that out. They're adding an official web store, so you'll be able to buy in-game items at a discount, and there's going to be a monthly reward. So what that means is when you go onto their web store and you buy something from the web store for your game, you will get a purchase reward for buying something from the web store once per month. They're also going to have a reward that's available once per month just for visiting the web store. This month they said it was MetaJewels. I expect it likely will just be MetaJewels moving forward, which is just another cool way to get some more more MetaJewels. Obviously, if you do spend money on the game, it sounds like this is going to be the least expensive way to buy things through there. They mentioned that you could also get the Phantom Pass upgrade through the web store, so maybe that'll be a little bit cheaper as well. This is a great opportunity for me to tell people, if you don't already know, if you're playing this game on Steam, the purchase packs are more expensive on Steam than they are on the phone or on the Google Play PC app. So food for thought. If you're already buying things on Steam, check the web store starting tomorrow. But if it is about the same price as the phone or the Google Play PC beta app that's available, if it's the same price, buy it through one of those, obviously, instead of Steam. For some reason, I have no idea why it's more expensive on Steam, but it is. So save your money. Don't spend $5, spend $4, right? Make sure you save your cash. But this will likely be the best way to purchase items. I don't know how exactly it's going to work. Again, we'll check that tomorrow during the live stream. But for Pokemon Go, which is another game that I play, the Webstore is just the best way to buy anything from the shop, period. So that's likely how it's going to be for this game as well. So we'll check it out. Make sure that you check it out as well and get your items through there if you do spend money. Joker is being rerun. So starting tomorrow, Joker is going to be rerun. It's going to be a 30-day banner for folks that are interested in getting Joker. You'll be able to have your chance. The cool part about this, though, is that starting tomorrow, anyone who starts the game, no matter when they start it, will have a banner with Joker available for 30 days. So what that means is if you decide, you know what, I just don't have time for another gacha game right now. Maybe school just started up if you're doing college or you know, high school, and you just started up classes again. You don't have time to play a gacha game right now because you're too focused. If you want to pick this up in mid-October when things start to calm down for you in your life, right, that Joker banner will still be there for 30 days. Which is really, really cool. So if you're a real big Persona 5 fan and you really want to make sure that you have Joker on your account, you'll be able to then start the game whenever you'd like, and Joker's banner will be there for 30 days for you to go and grab. So that's awesome. Really, really cool. Make sure you take advantage of that if you want Joker. If you don't want Joker, obviously don't get him, but Joker's a good unit, from at least from my perspective. I've pulled for him, and I use him quite a bit in curse-related content, and he clears it with, you know, flying colors for me. So but yeah, so that's a really cool feature. All right, so that basically covers everything for 2.0, but they did talk about stuff that they're going to update in the future. So I wanted to take a brief moment on the video just to cover that as well. So the 110 banner that they said they were going to release, it doesn't look like it's going to be releasing with 2.0. They did say that they wanted to release it before the 6-month mark, because obviously our content is being ramped compared to the China server or the original release of the game. I'm expecting them, we'll probably see it either late September or October, November. If I had to hedge a bet, I don't think it'll be as long as like December, January, because then why tell us, right? So expect to see that over the next month or two, but it looks like we are still gonna have the normal 50-50 pity for the Chord banner. So keep that in mind as you're planning out your resources. We're going to be getting the Lufel's Business Plan EX. This is all part of that operations letter, by the way. If you didn't read that, I'll include that down in the description below, which covered a lot of this, but this is mostly just updates on that. The Lufel's Business Plan EX, their goal is to use that to make it easier to forge 5-star weapons. I'll be interested to see how they actually do that, or what they actually do to make it easier for 5-star weapons. Because it would be cool to have some more 5-star weapons, obviously, than we have available right now. But we'll see how it works. They are also adding the prayer system. Apparently this is already implemented in China, but they're having some legal or patent related issues to implement it into the Japan and global servers. So it isn't in yet because they're trying to figure out a way to adjust it to make it available for us. So that'll be coming soon. We just don't know when. They're going to be running Awakening Avenue again, but instead of 4 daily attempts, they're increasing it to 5, which increases the number of extra rewards that we get from those attempts every single day, which is dope. Late September promo, they're going to be allowing us to select a 5-star weapon. This is going to be the Marion 5-star weapon that we were supposed to get in Lufel's Business Plan 3 and 4. So now we have the freedom to choose. We don't know what the characters are going to be just yet. We'll find out late September, but you know, if you want to get Marion's 5-star weapon or somebody else's 5-star weapon, you'll be able to do that. And then they're extending the P5X creator program. So this is a program where they're allowing the Persona 5, the Phantom X creators to post a YouTube video with the hashtag P5X creator and post it on Twitter and allow folks to repost or retweet the post. And then, you know, the people with the most retweets will get a copy of, last month it was Phoebe, this month it's Chord, right? Really cool, really cool. And I did post this on Twitter last month. I didn't share it here though, and I wanted to explain why. I do love this game, for the record. I love this game, and I haven't been making a ton of content around it because I've just been having fun with it, and I'm not an expert, right? I don't know all of the stuff that happened in China. I don't know all of the units that are coming out. I'm just kind of playing the game as it's released. So I'm just enjoying myself and, you know, having fun as it comes. So since I'm not as active, it felt a little weird trying to like make content around. I didn't want to like chase it, right? Like that just felt a little odd to me. Like I am enjoying it. I'm having fun making the content, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was only making the content to try to get a free thing, because that wasn't the goal. So I did post it on Twitter. I didn't talk about it here because I'm not that active on Twitter anyways. In fact, I don't really use Twitter at all. So most of my active social medias are Twitch and YouTube. Occasionally I'll post on like something like Blue Sky or Discord, but really I post here or Twitch. So if you'd like to support, you can check out the Twitter post. I'm going to post this one on Twitter as well. You can check out the Twitter post and help me have a chance to win. And if you'd like to enter yourself, which is what I would encourage you to do, make sure you go onto Twitter, find whatever your creator is, and find their Twitter post. And if you quote tweet that with the hashtag P5X creator vote, so hashtag P5X creator vote, you'll have a chance to win 5 platinum millicoins and 5 platinum tickets. And they're going to give that out to a couple of random folks that do that as well to help boost up the post on Twitter. So if you're interested in doing that, it's a 5 free coins, right? Just for quote tweeting something on Twitter. So if you're interested in checking that out, if you're not interested in doing it for me, that's totally fine. You can go check out any of the other creators that do it on Twitter or do it on YouTube, and help them out as well. And you'll have a chance to win something as well. So something to keep in mind. Like I said, I'll probably still post something for that, but I don't think I'll ever actively advertise for it here on YouTube or on Twitter. If you'd like to support, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine. They also showed a location that the YouTube live chat alluded may be related to Tokyo Game Show. So there's a chance that they may have something to show us at Tokyo Game Show this year. So something to look forward to as well. But I wasn't familiar with it. So I'm just speculating. I'm just going off of what the YouTube live chat said. Take that with a grain of salt. And that's it. That's the 2.0 update. Obviously, like I said, the 2.0 update, there's a lot, and there's some things that I kind of like glazed over. But the 2.0 live stream itself was 2 hours long, and that just felt a little too long for me. So I wanted to make a little briefer recap that kind of goes over everything, gives you guys everything that you're looking for coming up tomorrow. And again, I'm going to be live streaming this tomorrow as well. So I'm going to be live streaming the new update. I'm going to be doing chord pulls. I'm going to be doing chord weapon draws. And depending on how well we do, I might draw for Phoebe as well, because I am currently at a guaranteed copy of Chord. So the next 5-star that I get is a guaranteed copy of Chord, because I did a random 10 pull on Phoebe's banner the other day, and I ended up getting on. So that means I'm due for the next guaranteed. The next 5 stars guaranteed for me. So we'll be getting Chord for sure. I'll have to make a decision whether or not I'm going to go for A1 or if I'm just going to hang tight for the next unit, because I kind of want to have enough resources for Haru when she comes out, because I don't know about everybody else, but psychokinesis is kind of hard to come by, and I am tired of struggling on some stages that are weak to psychokinesis. So I'm kind of chilling until we get a psychokinesis unit that actually does damage, but we'll see. So, but if you're interested in checking it out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will try to do some more Persona 5 the Phantom X content. At minimum, I'll probably at least post my polls here on YouTube. And I'll do a live stream occasionally when I'm having fun and I want to share something with everybody. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope it made this a little bit easier. Obviously, if you're interested, go watch the live stream itself. That's still available on their YouTube channel. I'll include that down in the description below. And I'll post my socials here as well. So if you're interested in checking me out on any of my other platforms, you can check me out there. You can also subscribe here to the YouTube. Make sure you like the video as well to help with the algorithm, because for some reason, they just like when things are liked, man. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, we'll see you again in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.